Hello and welcome to my channel where it's all about play and learning new things, whether that be slow stitch or dioramas or embroidery or art or dolls' houses, because I just like to play. And we often get a cat popping in. Welcome!
Hello, it's Flip Through Friday, hosted by Gwen at Gwen the Trash Witch. If you remember last Friday, we did Dragonology. This week, we've got an even bigger dragon book. This is massive, look. Dragon art. Shall we open it up and have a look? Inspiration, impact, and technique in fantasy art. Wow. Sketch for Red Nails by John Howe. Oh, wow. Heroes and Saints. CERN. Fantasy Dragons. Personal Quest. Oh, wow. Just look at that. Isn't that stunning? Just give me a second. There you go. How's that? Isn't that just stunning? Oh, wow. John Howe. John Howe is an artist's artist. At the start of the decade, the Vancouver-born painter, along with Alan Lee, found himself the go-to guy for film director Peter Jackson to come up with the visual tone and vision for his Lord of the Rings trilogy. And he has written and contributed to countless books about fantasy and mythology, again setting the standard for illustrations in such works as The Hobbit and Beowulf. Wow. Don Mates. Not difficult to see why Don Mates should be feted as master of fantasy art. For one thing, there is the oft-cited fact that he created the Captain Morgan pirate character for the label of the rum of the same name. Wow. Mates' portfolio is rich with pirates and similar swashbucklers. How awesome. Gianni Wirtz. Something of an unusual fantasy artist, being as she is both a writer and an artist, and has written in excess of a dozen fantasy novels in her own right, including Cycle of Fire, Wars of Light and Shadow, Stormwarden, Keeper of the Keys, Shadowfane, Curse of the Mist Wraith, Ships of Meria, and Warhost of Vostmark. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Ciruello, not sure how you pronounce that, is undoubtedly on the experimental side of fantasy art. While the debate rages between digital versus traditional, Ciruelo has literally headed outside and found an entirely new base for his painting stones. His Petropictus project has seen him literally painting onto stones he has recovered. Gosh. Wow. And he's produced 4 art books: The Book of the Dragon, Fairies and Dragons, inspired by his children. Did it say what the others were? No. I shall have to give a look out for those. Bob Eggleton, from Godzilla to Aliens. Bob Eggleton is a fantasy artist who knows no boundaries. Hailing from New England, Eggleton was inspired by a range of artists, old and new, including J.M.W. Turner, Eugene Delacroix, John Constable, and Frank Frazetta. Wow, wow, wow. Larry Elmore. Larry Elmore's name seems to follow something of an understated fanfare. Considering the influence he has had on fantasy art, dragon illustrating, and the general awareness of fantasy art among the public, his work at TSR, the company behind Dungeons and Dragons, means that anybody who played the game back in the 1980s has probably seen and interacted with his work. Stunning. Have you seen the film Dungeons and Dragons? I love it. It's amazing. In fact, I may have to watch it again. Todd Lockwood is an avid Dungeons and Dragons player, something that has stood him in great stead in his career as a fantasy artist. His life in art took a slightly unusual path in that he started out as a designer for an advertising after graduating from Colorado Institute of Art in Denver. Matt Stawicki makes no bones about embracing his digital techniques to bring his vision to life. His tools are very much Wacom tablet, computer and software. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Gosh, we're on 7 minutes already. We're not even a quarter of the way through the book. Michael Whelan. Michael Whelan is, without doubt, one of the most highly regarded fantasy artists in the world today. From sword and sorcery to fine art, Whelan's work is imbued with a sense of thoughtfulness, empathy, and emotion that is missing from the art of many contemporary fantasy artists. His appeal goes beyond that of word and sorcery masters like Frank Frazetta. He is loved equally by devotees of warrior heroes as well as by more romantic and mystical fantasy films. How stunning. Wow. Just wow. Dragons and fantasy art. Gosh, look. How. I can't even pick this up. It's so heavy. Journeys. At the time of writing, it is in vogue for people to see the word journey to describe a series of circumstances surrounding their lives or a learning experience. While to contribute to this most modern usage, it is perhaps fitting that an extended essay all about dragons and fantasy art is something of a journey. I really can't think of anything else to say, but wow. Absolutely stunning book. Journeys with Dragons. Caves to Computers. Traces of Dragons. It's artwork. It's unbelievable. Western dragons. Dragon Mountains by Jason Juta. Copyright 2008. London-based illustrator and concept artist. There's also a website. There's his website. Gosh. I love that. Oh, wow. Polar Princess by Stanley Morrison. Acrylic on canvas, part of Four Seasons Dragon series. He also has a website. www.stanleymorrison, that's STANLEYMORRISON.com. Wow. Jason and the Argonauts, Bible. These are all Stanley Morrison too. Can you see that one? Look. I mean, how? That's also Stanley Morrison. Just look at that. It'll just take you in a bit. Isn't it amazing? I'll take you back out. Wow. Leonardo Brazio. Mixed media. John Hodgson. Wow, wow. That's John Hodgson too. And he also has a website, www.johnhodgson.com. That's JONHODGSON.com. Fast Ships, Black Sails by Scott Altman. So it progresses from sample 1, 2, 3, 4, and the final. Oh, wow. Oh, the Rise of Fantasy. Matthias Koloros. See, look at that one. I struggle to lift this book up. There we go. Wow, wow, wow. If you find this video too long for you, just skip through, eh? It's up to 13 minutes already. And literally, look. Do you want me to just go through quicker? Cardinal Dragon by Chuck Wadey. I kind of don't want to rush it because it's such a beautiful book. Kirsty Salomon. Wow, 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 wow. Well, there's the original concept. Moving on. And it ends in that. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Daniel Lundqvist. I do apologise if I'm not saying any of these names right. Andy Jones. I can do that one. Fishing on the Drinking Dragon by Andy Jones. Worm and the Wizard by Andy Jones. And Ursula's Pride. Creme Viet. Wow, wow, wow. It's another one of Beyt. Not quite sure how you say it. B-E-Y-I-T. Beyt. And another one. Oh my lordy lords. Do you know, I think this might just be a book that I'll have to revisit because we are up to 16 minutes already and there is so much more to show you. Look. That's like me. Okay. Oh, isn't that cute? So I'm just going to have a quick flick. Tamasak. Oh, gosh. Auergsuckle. Aueragskul. From Thailand. Carlos Herrera Portilla. Carlos Herrera Portilla. Oh, beautiful. Julia Taransecco, aka El Fessa. That's tattoo, dragon art, like tattoo art. Wow, wow, wow. Huang Hong. Camera stopped there, had a call coming through, sorry about that. Immortal Entrance by Fiona Seek. Frank Berger. Wow. Right, do you know what? I'm going to stop there. Aragon. But I hope this has given you a flavour of the book. And if you want me to start again and start from the back and move forward in a separate video, let me know and I can do that. I think I've given you a pretty good sample. So, on that note, I shall say goodbye and take care. Until next time. Bye now.